back to the Evermore YouTube channel. It's Chris back with another Rumour Has It video. We're talking about players linked to the club this summer transfer window. The window has got a few more weeks before it slams shut, and we are desperate for one more player. That is the quote of our brilliant Lord and Saviour, Eddie Howe, who said he wants one more player to give you the ideal squad depth. You know, depending on what position that is, we're kind of speculating, is it centre-half, is it left-back? I think a lot of us are thinking it is that cover for centre-half. Fabian Schär does have the tendency to pick up a knock here and there. He's not getting any younger. He had a knock in pre-season. I think that's maybe rattled Eddie and the team behind the scenes. Rattles maybe a strong word, but concerned them. That, you know, the drop-off in quality is so vast. When you go from Fabian Schär to Lascelles and Dummett, you need to have a bridging gap, somebody in the middle who's better, way better than those two, that can step in and play big games against the likes of Manchester City, Manchester United, Liverpool, and then the Champions League, whoever you're playing, Dortmund, bloody Munich, Barca, Real, Benfica, whoever. We need someone who can step up and play in those games and not look completely out of place. And unfortunately for Lascelles, he's not good enough on the ball. And Paul Dummett is from a different generation of Newcastle players in my eyes. He's not very good at all passing the ball and like stick his head where it hurts. He's a proper old-fashioned centre-half, but he can't play in a passing team. So yes, we need to have someone who can play a bit. So let's talk about a player right now we're going to get stuck into. Before I do, just a little reminder, if you just checked us out for the first time, smash subscribe, come and join us. We're over 4.5K. We're looking to the next target, which is 5K. You all know there's a prize. If you get the 5K mark, you can go into a draw. You can win a signed photograph of Alan Shearer's last ever competitive goal against the Mackems. Awesome prize, not just for Newcastle fans, for any football fans except Sunderland fans, of course. But you know, it's a great prize. Smash the button, help get us to 5K, guys. You won't regret it. Loads of quality Newcastle United chats and stats on this channel. So we're growing every single day. Come and be part of the community here. We'd love to have you. Smash the button. Right, so who am I talking about? What am I rambling about this time? Well, this goes back to a player who's been linked a long time ago. It's re-emerged in a great piece by Craig Cope about the players who have been linked to the football club in terms of these key positions. And it's all about centre-halves. And this is the lad we're talking about. So it's a Jean-Clair Todibo, who plays for Nice. And a lot of you who went to the pre-season friendlies, the 2-for-1 ticket, that was a great deal, by the way. I hope the club do that again in the future, because, you know, getting the chance to see 2 football games for the price of 1 is absolutely incredible. I came in probably about 20 minutes of the Nice game to go, I think, me and the kids. So I did watch a little bit. My eyes were drawn to Kefron Turam, who was really poor in all fairness. But I did look at Todibo. He looks steady enough away. I think he's been tracked for a long time by the club. They have watched him, and they watched him last weekend. And apparently, there's some question marks over his mentality. They're impressed by his ability, but question marks over his mentality. Now, that makes you wonder whether somebody in football has mentioned, you know, does he chuck his toys out of pram or whatever? I mean, Thuram looked like he was completely fed up, didn't want to play at all. There was a couple of moments where he looked all right, but he looked like he couldn't be asked. So maybe it's just disappointing that these lads haven't got that big move to the Premier League. Going back to Todibo, he has been linked to Manchester United a hell of a lot as well. And obviously with the sale of Harry Maguire, maybe they might come back in for him. But let's just look at his stats before we talk about, you know, how on earth we could possibly get this player through the door, given all the restrictions we've got financially, which sounds mad, the fact we've got the richest owners in the world. But yeah, 23 years old is a big thing. Way younger than Fabian Schär, right-footed as well, which is ideal for the long-term success of the Fabian Schär. 44 games last season, shows his fitness record. 2.2 tackles a game, brilliant. 1.29 interceptions, brilliant. 1.25 blocks, brilliant. Clearances, 3.48. Aerials, 1.22. So he's not as good in the air as Fabian Schär, but this kid is rapid on the deck, great pace, brilliant for dealing with some of the players you're going to come up against in the Premier League. We saw, you know, the Premier League kickoff, and, you know, Burnley ripped apart by pace and movement, the likes of Erling Haaland and Silva and Foden and guys like that. You need pace in your back line. We lack pace. We've got some real good positional sense players like Schär and Botman, but we lack serious pace. And I think there has been times last season when Trippier got doubled up on, and his slight lack of pace was exposed. And I think if Todibo was to sign and play in that right centre-back position, he could come across and cover Trippier. So for me, this would be a brilliant sign. If we're going back to his stats, his true tackles is 59%. 67 passes a game, so he's passing the ball a hell of a lot. He uses it very well. When he gets, he doesn't panic. He's not a kick and rush centre half. You know, he'll get the ball. He'll take his time and put his foot in the ball. He'll look for the right pass and try and start an attack. Again, his pass completion's up at 88%. So progressive passing 4.52 is that shows the stats there again for how well he uses the ball, and recoveries at 7.65. So the red, amber, greens, no reds as you can see there. Loads of greens. Look at those defensive qualities. Tackles 90-odd%. Tackles 90-odd%. Tackles in the defensive third, 94%. Tackles in the midfield third. He's kind of halfway there, but so that's good. I don't want my centre half wandering too far. I want him to get the ball, win it, maybe carry a little bit, and then make something happen and go back into his position. For me, that's what I want as a defender. You don't need to do that. You got Bruno, you got Joe Linton, you got Tonali, you got whoever it is. You don't need to go run up the end of the pitch and do that. Dribblers tackle 91%. That's that pace. That's that focus in terms of his concentration levels as well. And you need that in the Premier League because it's such a fast-paced league. It's not like the Serie A. And sometimes the French league where it can be a little bit slow-paced in some games. Ours is just relentless, intense pace all the time. Passing is unbelievable. His stats, passes are there for every single person to see. The only concern, I think, is the aerials one. He's not very good in the air. So people might look at that as a weakness and pump the ball over the top. But if he's got good positional sense, he'll drop a yard or two and he'll recover and he'll win it back. So I'm not overly concerned about that. And you see his recovery stats are brilliant as well. The only thing that maybe is a worry about this, and I think it's the same with all these targets, is they're all in and around the 30, 40 million quid mark. And that we don't seem to be able to pull that off now. Signed Livramento for 30 million. Listen, I'm sure Livramento's going to be a really good player. Maybe they should have held back a bit and spent that in a centre half rather than a backup right back. I'm not too sure. He might prove me wrong. He might be unbelievable. It's obviously a player that they wanted, but I don't know whether this is an Ashworth versus Howe type thing. I'm not sure about that, but let's just wait and see. But yeah, you need to drop 30 odd million, 40 million quid on this kid again through the door. They have to be creative. We've seen the Amazon documentary. They can be creative. So let's see what they pull out of the bag on this particular one. But I think they might have to just bite the bullet and drop some money on a centre half, 30 or 40 million quid. If he's the long-term successor to Fabian Schär, it's worth doing it. They might have to recover by, implementing something financially to bring some returns in. But if we progress further in the Champions League, for example, there's more money coming through the door there anyway, in terms of TV money and stuff like that as well, and commercial revenue, maybe doing a couple of sponsorship deals in the background, whatever it may be. But we need to get that centre-half covering and think of a long-term successor plan for Fabian Schär. It ain't Jamal Lascelles and it ain't Paul Dummett. So we really need to bring that player in. So that's me done for this, guys. Let us know what you think in the comments below about Todibo. Would you be excited about signing him? I think he's the right kind of player, the right mold, the right age, the right quality as well. Could be a better player than Eddie Howe. The mentality thing slightly worries me a little bit. So maybe Howe doesn't think he's the right character. A lot of people are worried about Gordon, but his mentality is more than shown that he's a good character and everything else as well. So Dan Ashworth does his homework. So he's heard some bad things about Todibo. That might put them off. But we need a good player in, and he is a good player. So again, let us know what you think in the comments. We always like to hear from you. We always do our best to try and reply. As I mentioned at the start, come and join us. We're over 4,500 subs. Loads of room for you guys here. Smash the button. Recommend us to everyone that you know. Get us up to 5K. Then come and enter the prize draw for this year of photo. You want it. It's a great photo for any football fan, really. A great piece of memorabilia. Like the video. Help get it around YouTube, everybody. Have a cracking day. We'll catch you later. Cheers. Bye.